cut spending and instead spend the money on K through 12?
Well, again, it's a balance, and certainly higher education is important in Tennessee. I'm proud of our university system in this state, and we have to continue to support great post-secondary options for our students.
So, higher ed over K through 12?
I can't rank one as being more important than the other.
Okay. With lottery surpluses, would you support more pre-K or more scholarships?
Again, I guess I would need to see more longitudinal research about pre-K to make that decision. It was certainly, the lottery was set up to support education. I think in many Tennesseans' minds, it was primarily set up to support retaining our best and brightest here in Tennessee and our post-secondary education. So I would support greater scholarships tied to high levels of accountability.
Okay. Would you lower the scholarship standard and allow in more students, or increase the amount of money for each scholarship given?
I think accountability is key. So I would raise the standards and I guess fund, what was your question?
You would be broadening the amount of people that could get
Right.
this scholarship,
Right.
or increasing the amount of money that each scholarship is worth?
I guess I would increase the amount of each individual scholarship.
Okay. Do you think the lottery scholarship should be based on merit or financial need?
Well, right now it's based on merit, and I think that has been very successful in retaining some of our most talented students in our university. We want to be turning out a highly educated workforce so that when we attract businesses to this state, we have great jobs and great folks to fill those jobs.
Okay, on to a new topic, Second Amendment issues. Do you support allowing legally permitted handgun owners to carry in state parks?
Yes.
In schools or universities?
No.
Allowing handgun storage in public parking lots in locked cars?
Yes.
Limiting reproduction or distribution of a handgun carry permit list, so that, say, school newspaper could not reproduce the entire list of who all handgun carry permit holders are.
I'm sorry, would you ask that again?
Would you support limiting the reproduction or distribution of the entire handgun carry permit list? So, say the News Sentinel or the Tennessean couldn't list off or provide a link to all handgun carry permit holders.
That's an issue that I would need to study both sides of to give you an answer. I don't have a position on that.
Do you support a permitless carry system where non-felons could carry a handgun anywhere where it is legal?
Can you give me more detail on that?
It would just more or less say we don't have a permitting system. As long as you don't have a criminal background, you can carry a gun. You don't have to go through the system where they more or less double check you.
No.
Okay. No, you don't support
I support a permitting system.
Okay.
For all citizens, regardless of background.
Okay. Next topic, social issues or life issues. With the passage of SJR 127 imminent, would you be willing to limit abortion clinics to only where needed with certain, like a certificate of need, which is something that says that there is a purpose that they have to be there for?
You know, I am pro-life, Stacey, unapologetically. I believe that life begins at conception. On the other hand, we as a state operate in a federal system that says that abortion is legal in this country. And I think that the courts would really provide a challenge to that in terms of limiting those clinics where they choose to locate. While I don't like it, I think we operate under a constitution that allows folks equal rights under the law.
Okay. Were Roe versus Wade overturned, it would turn the decision back to the states to allow abortion or not allow abortion. Would you vote to ban abortion in all situations in Tennessee?
To ban abortion in the state of Tennessee if Roe versus Wade were overturned?
Yes.
Wow. Yes.
Okay. The Constitution says judges shall be elected by the qualified voters of this state. Will you support moves to popularly elect judges instead of an appointment with a retention election?
No, I believe the retention election system works well in Tennessee.
Okay. Would you support loser pays tort reform?
Can you go into more detail about that?
A situation where if a lawsuit is brought and a person
Right.
loses the lawsuit, they have to pay the prevailing side's attorney's fees.
Right. Yes, with reasonable caveats, yes.
Okay. Do you support wine in grocery stores?
You know, again, that's something that I would need to study, but my experience as past president of the Metropolitan Drug Commission has led me to believe that we need to be very careful where we allow young people access to alcohol. And broadening that access in grocery stores is a concern for me.
Okay. Right now, would you support liquor by the drink in quote-unquote tourist areas in counties that have voted to stay dry?
So the special legislation.
Yes. What happens now is a county may say we want to stay completely dry, and a legislator may bring something that will say, well, we're going to allow it at, say, a golf course, or we're going to allow it at an amusement park without a vote of the people. Would you support that legislation?
Again, I will go back to my experience as a local legislator and my belief that the local community that is governing in that area knows best what the folks that they are representing prefer, what the citizens want as their environment, and I believe that should be left up to local control.
Okay. Do you support red light cameras?
I have voted for red light cameras in the city of Knoxville because our law enforcement officers came to us and said that we had a problem with safety at our intersections. And we have seen over the course of 5 years rear-end accidents and side impact accidents go down at every single intersection. And if we can save lives, the law is to stop on red, then I believe that those traffic cameras are helpful. Again, I think it needs to be up to local control and what a local municipality feels is most appropriate in their community.
Great. How do you feel about making driver's license, we're going on to a new topic, which is illegal immigration. How do you feel about making driver's license tests be taken in English only?
You know, I think that if someone has come to Tennessee from another country and they are legal here to work, they should be allowed to take a driver's license test and gain employment. We want great people to go to work in Tennessee. And so if they need to take that test in another language to pass it, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. Do you think state services not mandated by federal law should be only given to people legally in the country?
So are we talking about public schools? Are we talking about?
Pretty much any service, say healthcare services or WIC, let's just say, or state aid of welfare, healthcare, those sort of things. Do you think that should be for all residents or non-residents who are also in the country or in the state for whatever purpose?
Okay. I believe that folks who are legally in this country should be allowed access to those services, but not those who are here illegally.
Okay. Should the adult children of illegal immigrants be given in-state tuition to state universities? So maybe a child came here when they were 3 or 4 with their parents illegally. They, by federal law, have access to our state schools, K through 12. Higher ed, a lot of times has said, well, if they graduated from a state school, then they automatically get in-state tuition. Some people say, well, they're not legally in the country in the first place, and therefore they should either not be able to receive in-state tuition or possibly should not be able to go to those schools at all. Would you support saying that those children should have to pay either out-of-state tuition or not be able to have access to our schools at all?
And are these children legal citizens at this point?
No, they are not. They were born in another country, came with their family illegally, and went to our schools from, say, K through 12, graduated from our state schools, and then would be going on to, say, UT or Pellissippi. Should those students be given in-state tuition or allowed to come to our schools at all?
You know, I think in that case, the law or the ruling should be the same as any student that comes to our universities from any country. Certainly we have a lot of scientists, we have a lot of students who come to Tennessee universities from countries in Europe, countries in Asia, and they're not United States citizens. Whatever the tuition arrangement is for them, if they apply and they're qualified and they are admitted, then that would be the same situation for them. They're not citizens of this country.
So they should have access, though, that's the same as a legal citizen?
They should be able to apply, just as we have students who are admitted to our universities from all over the globe who are not citizens of the United States or citizens of the state of Tennessee. They are able to apply, and when qualified, I believe they would pay out-of-state tuition, and if they are admitted under the system in place, then they should be able to attend, paying, I guess it's the out-of-state tuition.
Okay, thank you. Last topic, the environment. How do you feel about a bottle bill or a grocery bag deposit bill?
I don't support a bottle bill.
Okay. How about mountaintop mining? Would you support a ban on mountaintop mining?
Again, that's kind of a blanket statement. I think I would need to know more about the issue. I know that has been a great concern to many Tennesseans, and the mining practices that have left parts of our state desecrated are of grave concern. But again, I would need more information about the scope of the legislation.
Okay. That's it. Those are my bullet point questions. You've answered them all. I do appreciate you keeping your answers brief. I'm going to give you the final about 2.5 minutes to tell people why you're running, what are your goals, any other special topics you think maybe we didn't touch on, and just go.
Great. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening, and it would be an incredible privilege to represent the people of Knox County in the 6th Senate District. I believe my experience as a legislator here in the city of Knoxville, combined with my background in education, uniquely prepare me to address the complex issues that are in front of the General Assembly. You know, during my time on City Council, I've been chair of the Audit Committee. We have balanced a $172 million operating budget every year while increasing our fund balance or rainy day fund, as well as investing in projects that will reduce our future operating costs. We've invested in things that would have a huge return on our investment. We've continued to invest in downtown, and I think we've had great results. I'll take that experience with me to Nashville to work to bring jobs, investment, and entrepreneurship to Tennessee. I also believe that when we get the foundational economics of our state right, business will choose to locate here. Businesses are going to locate where the conditions are the most favorable, and that's being a low-tax state, low government regulation, and excellence in public education. I'm passionate about the dialogue around public education in this state, and I believe that we can build on the initiatives that the General Assembly passed this year and go forward with some great new initiatives. I think distance learning, e-learning should be available to students in every high school across the state. I think we need to look at the issue of social promotion and how we can allow students who need more time to mature or to catch up with their classmates a place where they can stop out within the system and yet still continue to move forward.
Well, Marilyn, I do appreciate you coming on the show, and like I said, this is a forum for the 6th Senatorial District. Marilyn is a candidate for that seat in the 6th Senatorial District, currently held by Jamie Woodson. We are going to have the other candidates on, Becky Duncan Massey and Victoria DeFries, and potentially any other candidates that come forward. So tune us in again next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stacey. It's been a pleasure.